Hi, and welcome to Behind the Rock Tour. Well, we've got a special match coming up with Shane VanBoening. Shane will be commentating on this match, so this is something that you're going to stick around and want to watch. For those of you that are new to Behind the Rock Tour, we just want to go over the format a little bit to give everybody a good understanding of how this all works. BTRT is an all-new format where matches are played from any certified location, which would mean it could be a pool room, bar, bowling alley, or any location with a pool table and an event coordinator. Each week a new tournament starts on Sunday. It's open all week long, so different rooms can play on different days. Saturday night at midnight, all the matches from the different locations are uploaded to the website by the event coordinators, and the tournament is closed. Sunday, the tournament is calculated, new handicaps are calculated, and payouts are done every Monday. We play two different games, and within each game are 4 divisions. 220 is played on a 9-foot table, which you'll see Shane play in this video, and 198 is similar to 220, but it's played on a 7-foot and 8-foot table. 220 was derived off the game of Tin Ball versus the Ghost. These are the basic rules. Break, take ball in hand after the break, and run balls in rotation until the player fouls, misses, or runs out. Players earn a point per ball. If the player breaks and runs, there are some other scoring twists that take place, and we'll go over some of those as we watch Shane's upcoming match. Other rules are all ball fouls, don't touch or move anything on the table or it's game over. Scratch on the break is minus a point, and all balls that are pocketed on the break would get spotted, and any ball pocketed, as long as it was a hit, is a point. And remember, we're playing 9-ball rules, but we're playing with 10 balls for 220. 198 is played the same as 220, except players play on 7-foot and 8-foot tables, playing with only 9 balls, versus 220 that is played on 9-foot tables with 10 balls. There are different divisions for the different skill levels of each game. We use a 90% handicapping system similar to golf or bowling, and the handicaps are recalculated every week. If you'd like to learn more about Behind the Rock Tour, you can visit the website at www.behindtherocktour.com. Click on the Tour Info button and read the document of how it works. You can also find the rules and scores on the website under the Rules tab, and you'll find 5 short little videos there that will also help you understand the scoring a little bit better. A match consists of 11 games. If you break and run your 11th game, you get a 12th game to finish scoring your 11th game. And that's about the basic rules, so let's get started. First, I'd like to introduce Shane VanBoening. And Shane recorded this match during an exhibition at Cue-Topia Billiards in Lakewood, Washington on February 24th, 2015. And he set an unofficial world record. So going into playing 220, what did you think?
I think it's an interesting format where, how you keep scoring and stuff like that. So,
the whole concept behind it was to distinguish between pro players and amateurs, because you know how a lot of times a guy can run out and so he wins a match and therefore kind of has an illusion that he's a better player than maybe what he might be, and this is based over time. It shows the consistency of what a player does. And so the whole concept was to help people understand exactly where the division between pro and amateur is. Do you think this format's going to...
Yeah. I mean, I had trouble figuring out how to keep score, but I kind of figured out a little bit.
Oh, good. You had lots of help during this match for people telling you.
I think that was like the best break I had in couple weeks.
The only thing that I see as a problem is the 4-ball.
I believe that's a 4-ball in the side pocket.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out how to get the position to get there. So it wasn't very easy.
Yeah, well, lots of times when you're breaking 10 ball, those 2 balls behind the 1 ball, they'll go to the side pockets and they'll end up on the rail right by the side, which makes it tough.
I got out of line a little bit where I didn't get enough. I got too much of an angle. I was going to go straight to the 8 ball, but now I had to go 1 rail, which left me a bigger angle to cut the 4 in the corner. And when I shot the shot up, I believe the 4-ball skidded on me. The start wasn't good.
So what were you thinking when that ball...
So I'm thinking, well, I have to be careful. and not miss any more shots in order to break the original record. Was that what?
The world record?
Yeah.
The world record was 186.
186, yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of times when we're playing this is that we get all caught up in the overall picture of what my score is going to be instead of reflecting back and thinking what happened on that shot.
I think it's more important just to think about not missing any shots every game. You have to play a total of 11 games, right?
Right.
And you just think about running every round.
And in this situation, you actually played 12 games because you broke and ran the 11th game. So then you'd play a 12th game to finish scoring that 11th game. So I think you had a question here after the break that you were wondering if you had ball in hand or not because of the funny rules that we had for breaking
that's
around.
the only confusing part I had.
Well, if you don't run out like you did in the first game, then you automatically get ball in hand. The only time that there's a question if you want to take ball in hand or not is if you don't make a ball on the break and you run out, and then it's the game after that is when you have the option to take ball in hand or not. And that was a nice break too. Really, you don't have any.
So this rack was just an easy pattern, pretty much almost a stop shot. Everything hanging. There's nothing tied up. Lately. So, I haven't even watched myself in the last couple of years. It's actually pretty interesting for me. I can actually maybe figure out something where I can make my game better, or what I have to do to make my game better by watching this. That way I can go back home and maybe fix a few things. I think I'm looking to get more built.
You mean working out more in the gym?
Yeah, I have to take care of myself, maintain on the level I'm at.
What are you seeing that you don't particularly care for?
Maybe my pace is playing too quick. I like to play fast, but I think it's better to keep the same pace throughout the whole game.
And there's a fine line between playing just a smidge too fast and not thinking enough about exactly where you want to be, right? Especially for us amateurs, that we have a hard time controlling the cue balls, so it's important that we take that extra little bit
Not
of
only
time.
controlling the cue ball, but how they approach to the table.
Oh, okay.
They don't think much.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Decision making is very important after every shot. Putting the cue ball exactly where you're supposed to be.
And everybody can learn from watching themselves play pool, right?
Yeah.
And I think this game here, this is the one where you have the option after the break to take ball in hand or not. So what are you thinking about there? So what are you thinking about there?
The only difficult shot was the 3 and the 5 was tied up on the bottom rail. So when I shot the 2 ball on the side, I didn't leave myself a good angle to get on the 4. I wanted to make sure I get down the table so I can have a good angle, but I came short like this. So now got to figure out a way to break out the 5.
And still get on your 4.
So I was just going to force follow this one, make the 3 and then bump the 8 and push the 5 out.
And then that would kind of make a gateway for the 4 ball.
But I don't want to hit it too hard, otherwise the cue ball might go up too far. Try to let myself a good shot in the 4. So once I make the 5, then I should be out. That was a tough shot because I gotta make sure I don't go too far to the left.
Right. And I think a lot of us amateurs probably would have tried to make that ball and tried to hold the speed on it instead of letting it come down to the end rail and floating back up.
Yeah. But this one was a tough shot too because you might get straight in. But I told myself to stay short and leave myself on the angle to get on the 9 ball, on the next ball.
And it seems like, too, whenever you have a ball on the end rail like that, it's like you always put yourself in the worst position unless you really, like, choose exactly where you want to be.
That was one of the toughest out.
It was game 3.
The next one, game 4.
Oh, okay. So you didn't take ball in hand then twice, correct? So going into game 4, then you had 23 points, and you're sitting on a cut game. It was game 3.
The next one, game 4.
Oh, okay. So you did take ball in hand then twice, correct? So going into game 4, then you had 23 points, and you're sitting on a cut game. And this one you did make a ball on the break. So after this rack,
the toughest shot was getting on the 5. Everything else was wide open. And on this shot, I had to be careful not to get straight in on the 8. I need to give myself an angle on the 8.
so you can get across to the 9.
Yeah. So I told myself to come short. So I follow this in and go 2 rails up the table.
That shot you took a little extra time. Because you made a ball in the last break. So this is game 5. And I think they're explaining to you here that you can't take ball in hand, regardless of what happens on the break, because you made a ball on the break your last game and ran out. Okay, and I think we're explaining to you here that you can take ball in hand, regardless. This one you made 2 balls on the break. This is what is so deceiving about watching a professional play, is that it just looks so easy. And that, oh, we got ball in hand after the break, no problem, right? I should be out every rack.
In the shot, I went 3 rails around. feeling loose.
I was going to say, because I probably would have just gone the 2 rails and shot it the other end of the table. That was game 6, and we've got 63 points going into game 6, or game 5, sorry. You had 63 points going into game 5, so you broke a round, so it gives you 73, so we have to wait and see what you do on the next rack. See what your score is.
I wasn't really feeling comfortable with my break, so I was just trying not to scratch.
Oh.
So, tried to make a ball, but I just wanted to avoid scratching. Played a 2 on the side, and 3 in the corner. So I had to make sure I get a good angle on the 5 ball when I shoot the 4 in.
To get back on the bottom rail for the 6 off the 5.
I think I came around, I draw a little bit, and then I had to draw again on the 5. It was just a bad angle. So I left myself a little angle. The tricky one was trying to get an angle on the 6 ball too. I want to left myself a bigger angle so I can come down table, but I don't have enough angle to get down. I could come down, but tricky situation when scratching the side or in the corner.
Oh yeah.
So I decided to go follow 2 rails and shoot the 7 in the right corner.
So did you use follow inside or just follow on the shot?
I followed 2 rails, come down. But I didn't put enough spin, so it left me a longer shot.
And I think this is a shot when everybody fell off the bleachers.
I could put more spin to come down deeper.
Yeah.
But I came a little short. Left me in a hard position. So I just make sure I make this ball. If I could practice more on the 10-footer, I can make this game look like a bar table.
If you practice on the 10-footer, you can do what?
I can make this game more, make it look more like a bar table.
Oh.
I can play it like it's on a bar table.
I don't know. It looked kind of like you already felt like it was on a bar table to me. So that was game 6. So this one you did not make a ball on your last break-in run. So now you're going to have the option on this next game. Okay, 2 balls.
I didn't get any shot.
Yeah.
So I had to take ball in hand.
Yeah, so what happens is those 2 points get counted back to your break-in run game, so you got 12 points instead of 10 on your break-in run.
This one pretty much an easy layup. Shoot the 6 on the side, stop shot, another stop shot afterwards. then come 2 rails, back 2 rails.
So why wouldn't you have pulled that back just a little bit instead of, so you didn't have to go 2 rails with your cue ball? Just drew it back a little bit to get on your...
This is just all a natural angle, so you don't have to use much traffic for the cue ball.
And that's that.
So we're at game 8.
Yep. So in your break and run in game 7, you made 2 balls to the break, so you automatically get ball in hand.
So you're saying every time I make a ball in the break, I get automatic ball in hand?
On the next game, yeah, if you break, yeah. The only time that you have to make the decision on whether or not to take ball in hand is if the game prior you broke dry and then you ran out.
And then you get minus point for breaking dry, right?
No, you only get a -1 if you scratch on the break. And then everything would spot as well.
Alright. I was trying to find out if I could break the record or not.
Oh, if you could still win. If you could break the record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you going to quit if you couldn't break the record?
No. I was trying to break and run.
What order were you putting the balls when you were breaking?
I'm sorry?
What order did you put the balls when you were racking?
Is it 1, 2, 3? And then beside the 9 ball was 8, 9.
Yeah.
And then the bottom row is the 5, 4. Oh no.
Yeah, in the middle. And then
In the
7, 6 in the corner.
Yeah.
I think if we ever get a pro division started in BTRT, we would make a few modifications, like maybe no ball in hand after the break.
Yeah.
And change a few things so that, because there'd be probably a few guys that would break on a few racks with ball in hand. So we'd probably change a few rules just to make it a little tougher. This is game 9. Play 11 games. Unless you break and run your 11th game, then you would get a 12th game to finish scoring the 11th.
That's a good break. It's probably one of my best breaks there.
Could have got a little funny though with that 5-10.
That was what I was trying to figure out. Couldn't figure out where to make the 5.
I think you're asking the question now, what happens if I make the 10? The rules are behind the rock tours that you can make an early 10 and it's an extra point, but it spots back up.
Yeah.
So if you choose to do that, you need to be careful that there's no ball sitting on the spot, because now the 10 is going to be frozen on another ball on the spot. So make sure you got to make sure that you choose wisely.
I decided to play the 5-10 combo, but I need to make sure I get close so I can make it more easier. If I was farther away, then it would be a tough combination. So I wanted to go back 2 rails. I was just 1 rail before the side pocket.
Oh, okay. Combinations are hard for most people anyway. Is there anything special that you use to aim when you shoot a combo?
A lot of times you find your line where you need to make the combo, and then you look through the object ball, and you just shoot. You try to point the 5 ball, for example, like on this one. You point the 5 ball on the rail that you want to hit.
Oh, okay.
So you go through the 10 ball and point at the rail.
Okay.
And find a little mark.
Got a little wiggle there.
Yeah.
That's another thing that a lot of players will do. They'll get excited about shooting a combination and get excited about making it, but then they've got no shot because they forget to have the foresight to think about what the object ball is going to do after the combination is played.
Yeah.
That's what's so good about this game, is that it teaches people things that they don't normally think about when they're playing against somebody else. They think a lot about the win-loss, and this really just tells you what you need to work on in your game.
Yeah. A lot of it is just coming from playing 9 ball or 10 ball. If you can practice running out, then you can learn how to play the right angles, and you play a lot of difficulty shots. I think 9 ball or 10 ball is a good practice for your game. There's a difference between straight pool. Straight pool is always in one little area. You shoot balls in the same pocket almost. Straight pool is just good to know how to break out and know where the ball's going to go.
And it's good for your 8-ball game.
But 9 ball is good for your stroke and rotation. Good for your stroke and shooting long shots, firing balls around the table.
I think that's what I like most about rotation, is that you get to hit the ball hard. Let your stroke out a little bit. I always feel like when you're playing the 8-ball on the bar box, it's a little different. So in the last game you made an extra 10 ball, so you've got 11 points sitting there and you're waiting to see if you break and run this game, then that would give you 21 points for game 9.
And here I was just checking my angles. So I decided to come out in the middle of the table. Just 1 rail. And shoot the 3 in the same pocket. And then go down to down table. The important thing is just leaving yourself an angle. Never leave yourself straight in. If you can leave yourself an angle, you can get around anywhere on the table. So I decided to put the cue ball right in the middle of the table, just cut the 6 in the corner.
Not really much time for this, guys. kind of connect the dots, right?
I think we're on the last game, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Oh, it looks like in game 10 you didn't make a ball in the break, so now in game 11 you're going to have the option to take ball in hand or not. Or if you take ball in hand, you only get to count what you made on the break. If you don't take ball in hand, then you get to count all the points from this game back to your break and run game. So it could be a difference of 10 balls at the most, probably. Get 3 balls in that break.
So 2 balls hanging in the corner. And then shoot the 4 on the side. But leave myself an angle, go around 2 rails.
Yeah, and you didn't take ball in hand, so by not taking ball in hand, now every point that you make from here out gets counted back to your last game. So essentially you're getting 2 points per ball during this game.
I kind of want to get straight in on this one, but...
Did you get there? Almost.
5 ball and then angle and assist. Drop for the 8 ball.
And going 2 rails instead of just 1 rail gives you more room for air. And you're...
Not only that, the ball might skid it.
Oh.
So I always use outside spin when I'm cutting the ball. Just to make sure it don't skid on me.
So that was your 11th game. You made 3 balls in the break, so now you'll shoot a 12th game to finish scoring the 11th game. Going into this game, you'll have 187 points, so you've already beat the world record by 1 ball. So whatever, this is all bonus here. At this point, were you feeling better about your break?
Not really. I hadn't been practicing on my break in the last couple months. So I've been taking some time off and doing other things. I should probably get practicing, get back in my work routine on the table.
Sometimes you need that break.
There just haven't been any 10-ball tournaments lately in the last few years. So I haven't been really working on my break at all. So on this one there was no shot on the 2-ball, except down in the corners. So I decided to take the 1 and bump into the 2 and play the 2 in the same pocket. Just leave it on a little angle, go the cue ball up.
And me, what I probably would have done is tried to miss the 2 ball and get on the end rail and shoot it back up table, which probably isn't too smart.
Just like that.
Perfect.
Play the 4 and 5 same pocket.
Do you feel this format would help players understand where they're at and what they need to work on by playing this, or?
A lot of times, a lot of it had to do with how much time you put on the table. If you don't put enough time, you can't expect to get better. I think I'm gonna work on a few things when we get home.
Share with us.
There's always something to work on. Even though if you watch yourself and do a little mistakes here and there.
And there you go. That's a world record, 197 points. Thanks for playing. Thanks for coming to Tacoma. Really enjoyed it.